guys, it's Amber, and I'm getting ready to work on my day 5 page, or sorry, my memory 5 page for my Christmases Past album. So I have this photo here of me in 2010 receiving a KitchenAid mixer. I was so excited to get it. I've always wanted one. And unfortunately, this was one of the files that I pretty much lost. So the only copy I have of it is this black and white. So I was specifically saving it for day 5 when I could use it with this fun bright blue card. And I cut out some of my favorite basic Grey Figgy Pudding paper, and in order to save as much of it as possible, I literally only printed out a 5x7 sheet of it. So I'm going to cut it in half and use one little bit on the top and on the bottom underneath the photo. And it was actually Christmas Day, which is why I want to use the present paper. So I also printed out my journaling on a 4x8 piece of paper here of my sticker matte paper, so I can apply it right to the card here. And then I'm planning to cut out a Heidi Swapp die with this metallic red paper that I have from, I know I bought it at Hobby Lobby, but I don't know who makes it. It's just like a plain sticker on the back. But when you use this paper with these dies, it gives it a really cool, nice finished look. So I'm gonna do that. And what I also want to experiment with is cutting it out with, I want to apply as much of it to this 2-inch tape as I can. Probably not all of the L, but enough so that when I peel it off, I can just stick it down and I don't try to have to use rolling adhesive. So I just want to experiment with it and see if it's going to work. It should just cut right through on the die machine. So one of the things that I did also want to practice working on is cutting off the edge. I've been using this the full length of the paper, but for some reason it printed a little high, so it's not going to cover. So I'm going to have to cut off, it looks like exactly 1 inch from the top of this. And the good news is that will help me line it up nice and easily as well. And while I'm here, I might as well trim off these edges too. I'll do it on my other cover. It's easier for me to see where the lines need to be trimmed on the other one. And that's one of the things that I love about this We Are Memory Keepers is I can trim the tiniest of slippers and it still cuts really nice and straight. Okay. So while we're thinking about it, let's go ahead and stick this down. It went down fairly straight. It was a little off center on the first stick, but luckily I know that you can just barely push down and remove it before fully sticking it down. It has a teeny bit of forgiveness that way. Did it go down perfectly? No, it's definitely a little crooked here. But I'm not going to worry about it too much. Looks like I didn't quite fully trim off that line there either, so I'm just going to have to trim the paper to cover it. Not a problem at all. maybe next time I won't print with lines at all. Maybe it'll be a little easier. Okay. And then I've been stamping these with the date of me making the page. So it is November 28th. I'm using my Heidi Swapp date stamp. All right, card is ready to go. So I'm pretty much just going to cut this just about halfway. Sorry, gotta do a little cleanup. Okay. So one thing that I don't really use a ton of is rolling adhesive. Usually just a little bit in the corners is like all you need. And people like waste so much of it. If it's something that's gonna be outside of a page protector, then I use double-sided adhesive, which is much stronger, instead of wasting the rolling adhesive. I'm just putting a little in the middle so it doesn't buckle. I'm just trimming the edges off a little here. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with my photo, but before I attach that, I want to get my Noel cut out. So the reason why I wanted to do that is because I needed to see how low I needed to put my word here, because the L is really long. And did I want to put it over here, or I even considered putting it along the side of the photo, which looks really cute, I think. So I just have to decide if I want to do that and put the year here, or even on the bottom kind of looks cute. But I think it's harder to look at because there's a lot of red right there. So I'm thinking that's probably going to go right on top here. I'm just deciding how centered I want it to be. I think it looks better all the way to the right because the word's so much larger over there. And did I want it overlapping the photo or not, is the question. I think I actually really love it on the red down here, or on the side. It's going to get punched here, so that should work okay. I think what I need to figure out is any other embellishments that are going to go on here. And then that will help me make my final decision on where this is going to go. All right, let me make that decision and we'll be right back.